Ay, 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 Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, 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 Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, 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 Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, Adonai, ay, 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 ay. Welcome back. Nice to be with all of you on this Yom Kippur morning. We hope that you had a 10 days full of reflection and cheshbon hanefesh, taking account of some of your year and of your soul. And we are so glad to be back in this space together and to offer you prayer and song and reflection back with myself, Rabbi Russell, and Rabbi Richman. It's a gift to be here with you.
In our time together today, we are going to be singing and exploring a visualization to experience prayer on Yom Kippur. Not to talk about it, but to actually engage the ritual and to get as close as we can to the still small voices of our own souls, to hearing them and to expressing them. And we begin just with a recognition that this is our lives right now, and that Yom Kippur is about praying for our very, very lives.
Who by fire, who by water, who in the sunshine, who in the nighttime, who by high ordeal, and who by common trial, who in your merry, merry months of May, who by very slow decay, and who shall I say is calling? Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun.
Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uveyom Tzom Kippur yechatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, Uveyom Tzom Kippur yechatemun. I'd like to ask a question that we've been thinking about quite a bit. How do we create a separate space for prayer? One that feels really different, maybe even kadosh or holy, especially when, for so many of us, we've just been in the same place for so many things for so long. The same kitchen table is our office, where we eat, and maybe also now where we pray. What can we do now? How can we treat our own space and actually create a space that feels like an inner sanctuary? We have in our tradition the models of the high priest and Jonah, who in the stories and the rituals that we perform on Yom Kippur, both find themselves in an inner sanctuary. And they find a way to cry out from deep inside themselves to the one who desires to hear their call. And each of them finds a way to hear their own voice and to call out even among the voices of other sounds, of other people in the background, of cars, of other noises. And that's part of the experience that we're going to be engaged in today. As we prepare for and enter and create what we hope will be a sanctuary of prayer, we'll just notice the other voices and noises that accompany us as we call out with our voices of prayer. With our two models of creating inner sanctuary and calling out, with our high priest and Jonah, we have one who makes it to the inner sanctuary only after intense preparation and intention. And then we have one who finds himself there, who basically does everything he can to avoid it, and then is thrust right into that central space. Both of those will be our models for trying to open up and into a prayer space. Pitchu li sharei tzedek avovam odeyah. 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 Open for me, open me to the gates of rightness, and I will go and praise you. As we reflect on the stories of the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, and Jonah, we each in our own locations will attempt to create and inhabit our own inner sanctuaries, even in our living rooms, bedrooms, kitchen tables, or backyards. Wherever we are physically, we will move through the gates of distraction and resistance to the still small place where we can find our true voices and call out. So we're going to take a moment just to get comfortable, we're going to have a visualization together where we hopefully can create and inhabit these spaces, these sanctuaries. And the first step in doing so is really just inhabiting the true sanctuary we always inhabit, the body. And so we're just going to take a moment to actually maybe open up a moment of gratitude to these bodies that with so many challenges have kept us healthy, or as healthy as we can be in this moment, who've attempted to hold us and to protect us and to move us through any number of challenges. So let's take a moment just to thank our bodies. Perhaps if you have your hands in your lap or on your thighs or by your side, you can just thank them for all they've done for you throughout this season of tshuva into this new year. And in that gratitude, you can just actually notice your fingers, maybe even move them, wiggle them around. And maybe if you pay attention to them, maybe you can feel the pulse of life beating in the pads of your fingers right at this moment. If you can, just pay attention to that pulse in your fingers just for a moment. And maybe see if you can feel the life coursing through your hand, into your palm, up your arms, into your shoulders. You might want to just take a deep sigh and release those shoulders without moving, without needing to adjust, just releasing. Maybe you feel in this moment a breeze or some chill. Maybe it's very warm. Just notice what it feels like in your body at this moment. And you may want to notice that you're breathing. Whether you were thinking about it or not thinking about it, you were breathing the whole time. If you're alive, the inhale is coming in, the exhale going out. And just take a moment, wherever it's most available and easiest to access, just notice your breathing. You may notice it in a cool feeling at the front of your nostril. You may notice it in your chest. You may notice you're breathing deep in your belly. And feel free to pay attention to my voice. Feel free to pay attention to your breath. Feel free to pay attention to the sensations of your body as they arise and as they fall away. We'll continue on our exploration of prayer, of sanctuary, exploring what allows each of us to speak from the heart. What are the obstacles to your prayer? And what opens you to prayer? What allows you to open? we begin with the high priest. So much work goes into preparing. The preparation for the high priest's prayer begins 7 days before Yom Kippur. The Kohen Gadol is taken from his home to a special chamber on the temple grounds. Each day, court elders sit in front of the Kohen Gadol and read the order of the Yom Kippur service. Maybe you are like the Kohen Gadol, a planner. Maybe you have been preparing for this day, for this moment, with prayer, with ritual, with reading groups. Maybe you have gone over the year past, read through your journals, done a serious reckoning, thinking deeply about your actions and your relationships. Maybe you've had or started already some difficult conversations. Or maybe, without thinking, planning, or intention, you find yourself here in this moment, looking for that space to come before. Maybe you find yourself looking for an entrance to a special chamber in your own now so familiar room. On the day of Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol changes his clothes 5 times during the day. He immerses himself in the mikveh 5 times, in the ritual bath 5 times, and then washes his hands and his feet ritually an additional 5 times. Before and after each change of clothing, each time his clothes come off, a large linen sheet is spread between him and the people. Maybe you are like the Kohen Gadol. Maybe you would like some privacy. Maybe you have changed your clothes and are wearing something different than the usual COVID wear on Yom Kippur. Maybe you lit candles or a yahrzeit candle before the holiday began. Maybe you are wearing a kippah or a talit, a prayer shawl, or a head covering. Maybe you have cleared your space of its regular papers and books and intentionally set it with ritual objects that remind you of your purpose. Or perhaps your space looks exactly as it normally does, and you are just showing up now, the best you can, knocking on the gates. During the first days of the temple, only the high priest went into the Holy of Holies, that innermost sanctuary, on this time of the year, on this day, just this once. Right at the center of the space was the ark, containing both the broken and the whole tablets of the law. And into that space, that lonely, solitary space, that was the space where God's presence rested. During the days of the second temple, when they rebuilt it, there was no ark. The Babylonians probably took it. So that meant that this holy, special space was completely empty, filled only by the intention and the prayer of the high priest. Jonah has such a different story. Jonah is such a singular character, a singular prophet. Jonah knows this day has been coming. He knows what is expected, required of him. He knows the preparations he was supposed to make. And he runs. He goes deeper and deeper into denial of his own call. He tries to get as far away from it as he possibly can, hopping on a ship. He finds the lowest and darkest and most abandoned space on the boat. And when he gets there, he sleeps. He closes his eyes and he tries to shut out the world. He sleeps and he sleeps while shofars blow, waking other people up on Elul and even on Rosh Hashanah. Jonah sleeps. When the waves rock and toss his boat and the crew freaks out, Jonah sleeps. But when he is woken by his shipmates' fear and concern, he doesn't deny a thing. He knows the truth and he says it out loud. He admits he is the problem. He confesses and he willingly offers himself to be tossed from the ship. Once in the sea, Jonah is famously swallowed by a dag gadol, a great fish. It's only there in the spaciousness of that inner sanctuary, in the stomach, in the belly of the fish, that Jonah finds finally not complaint. Jonah finds not even a request for help. What Jonah finds when he is thrust into the sanctuary is his true, deepest prayer. When Jonah is in the belly of the fish, he doesn't ask to be saved, but he offers gratitude that he has already been saved. Still inside the fish, all he can access is a great thankfulness, a feeling of protection and service with purpose. What Jonah finds in his deepest prayer, in that sanctuary of the fish, was a prayer of thanksgiving. Jonah prayed to the Lord God from the belly of the fish. He said, "In my trouble I called to you, and you answered me. From the belly of Sheol I cried out, and you heard my voice. You cast me into the depths, into the heart of the sea. The floods engulfed me, all your breakers and billows swept over me. I thought I was driven away out of your sight. Would I ever gaze upon your holy sanctuary? The waters closed in over me. The deep engulfed me. Weeds twined around my head, and I sank into the base of the mountains. The bars of the earth closed upon me forever, and yet you brought my life up from the pit. Adonai, my God, when my life was ebbing away, my God, I called you to mind, and my prayer came before you into your holy sanctuary. They who cling to empty folly forsake their own welfare, but I, with loud thanksgiving, will sacrifice to you. What I have said, I will perform. Deliverance is yours." So what do you do when you make it inside the sanctuary from planning or from being thrust or from just deciding you're finally going to show up? What do you do when you are inside the Holy of Holies, the belly of the whale, your own sanctuary, wherever you may be? First, you might take a moment to realize how high the stakes actually are, that we are standing between life and death, and sometimes knowing and sometimes not knowing that we are actually right on its very edge. Like the priest, the high priest, we may confess and offer blessing, or we may, like Jonah, just be moved to thanksgiving and gratitude, moved to the truth of the fact of this one life that we were sleeping before, just sleeping through our lives, but now we are awake. Like the high priest on the high holidays, maybe we can take this wakefulness, even this gratitude for the chance of life, and go into the Holy of Holies and confess what we know to be true about our actions, l'ra'ah, l'tovah, the bad and the good. Thanks to you, thanks to the community, we have taken the traditional Ashamnu, prayer, categorizing all of our faults from A to Z, and we have added specific things that we are sorry for. And we have taken a similar prayer, a prayer, the Ahavnu, categorizing and naming those places where we actually acted in love and in blessing this year. So together, Rabbi Russell and I will be singing and speaking these confessions, these calling out of truths. And we ask you to join us. We ask you to call out together and sing the beloved traditional tune. Sing your eyes with us.
Ay, 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 ay,
We abuse ourselves. We betray confidentiality. We are cruel looking away from the homeless. We destroy the balance of the earth. We embitter relationships with people who don't agree with us. We falsify the truth with alternative facts. We gossip around the kitchen table regularly. We hate to hear the truth if we are not praised. We insult those with different opinions. We jeer. We kill. We lie. We mock.
niatznu.
We neglect immigrants, families who struggle, our own families.
sararnu.
We oppress and then we look away.
avinu.
We pervert.
pashanu.
We quarrel with those we love.
sararnu.
We rebel against our teachers.
titanu.
We steal from our future.
Ay, 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 ay.
Avnu.
We have loved. We love our families, friends, neighbors, colleagues, and our rabbis.
Berachnu.
We have blessed the light we wake up to daily.
Gadalnu.
We have grown little sourdough spores.
Dibarnu yofi.
We have spoken positively to counter all of the negativity.
Ay, 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 Helinu.
We have raised up against injustice.
Vechasnu.
We have shown compassion even if we have been hurt.
Zeaznu.
We have acted enthusiastically to bring change.
Chamalnu.
We have been empathetic with the poor, those who are suffering.
Tipachnu emet.
We have cultivated truth in how we speak. Ay, 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 ay.
Yatznu tov.
We have given good advice to share decency, tolerance, and justice.
Kibadnu.
We have respected every human being.
Lamadnu.
We have learned so much didn't matter when we thought it mattered.
Machalnu.
We have forgiven each other, our families, and our friends.
Nichamnu.
We have comforted mourners.
Salalnu.
We have been creative, creating a sense of community.
Orarnu.
We have stirred good energy.
Pa'alnu.
We have been spiritual activists by participating in spiritual virtual meetings.
Tzadaknu.
We have been just as much as possible.
Kivinu la'aretz.
We have longed for Israel, even and especially when our trips were canceled. Yai, nai, 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 nai. Yai, nai, 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 nai. Yai, nai, 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 nai.
Richamnu.
We have been merciful for everything we can.
Shakadnu.
We have given full effort to be a little bit of something good to everyone we encounter.
Tamachnu.
We have supported with hands and an open heart.
Taramnu.
We have contributed to healing and to hope.
Tikanu.
We have repaired relationships and communities. Yai, nai, 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 nai. Yai, nai, 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 nai. Yai, nai, 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 nai.
After the confession, the high priest adds a prayer for the year to come. The prayer of the Kohen Gadol. May it be your will, Lord our God and God of our ancestors, to grant us with all your people Israel and all dwellers of this earth a year of blessing, a year of corn and wine and oil, a year of prosperity, of assembly in your sanctuary, a year of abundance, of happy life, of dew and rain and warmth, of clean air, of ripening fruits, a year of atonement for our sins, a year in which you bless our food and drink, a year of commerce, a year of plenty, a year of joy, a year in which you bless the fruit of the womb and the fruit of the land, a year in which you bless our comings and our goings, a year in which you show us your compassion, a year of peace, a year of tranquility, a year in which you bring us rejoicing to our land, a year in which your people Israel will not require but offer support from one to another, a year in which all people will all support one another, the work of their hands being fully blessed by you. Blessed were those who saw these things back in ancient days. Blessed were those who saw the sanctuary filled with a joyous congregation. And blessed too are we in our own sanctuaries of blessing today.
If it be your will, my God, that I speak no more, let my voice be still as it was before. Take a moment to settle into this outside space and remember where we have come from. We slowly emerge from those places of stillness and quiet, those places of prayer and reflection, and we begin to enter into the moving world, a world full of blessing, into our personal Amidah. If it be your will, my God, that a voice be true, from this broken hill, I will sing to you. If you allow me to use my voice, God, I will use it to sing your praise. However you decide to live in this world, let your voice be true. And whatever God desires of us, embrace that truth as well. Let this be our prayer. Let this be your will.
If it be your will that I speak no more, and my voice be still as it was before, I will speak no more. I shall abide until I am spoken for. If it be your will, if it be your will, that a voice be true from this broken hill, I will sing to you. From this broken hill, all your praises they shall ring. If it be your will to let me sing, if it be your will, if there is a choice, let the rivers fill, let the hills rejoice, let your mercy spill all these burning hearts so well. If it be your will to make us well and draw us near and bind us tight, all your children here in our rags of light, in our rags of light, all dressed to kill and end this night, if it be your will, and when we call out in prayer, sometimes the words really matter. Two of the words that probably carry some of the most intense prayer for Jews are the words Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King. But as I've been thinking about this prayer and why it means so much to so many of us, I don't think the names, the roles of this prayer are necessarily the most important thing. I think it might actually be the suffix of each word, the new, our Father, our King. It's the fact that we call out in relationship. You are ours, we say. We claim you. We belong to you, and we call to you. And maybe even in the same way, the words don't even matter much in themselves. In this song, in this prayer, I think the melody carries so much of what we want to express, so much of what we want to express and we can't express in words, but we can express in song. So we invite you, please join us, sing with us. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu maasim, Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu maasim, Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu.
Ki anu amecha. We end in joy. We are your people and you are our God. Here we are, not in the same space, not gathered in the same way, but we are here. We might not be the same as we were last year, things have changed, but we are devoted to you, to this tradition, and this is why we have returned. Maybe in reality we have never left. We are yours. We are your children, and you are our parent. Show us your wisdom. Guide us on the right path in these difficult times in a year when there is so much unknown. We turn to you for guidance and for stability. Help us to make good decisions. Help us to make you proud. We are your creatures, and you are our creator. You breathed us into being. You put us in this world for a reason. What is our role this year? What is our purpose? We are here, and we are ready to bear that responsibility. We are your spouse, and you are our beloved. Teach us to love ourselves and others. Remind us to receive love and to give love. We close with this melody of joy and uplift, with hope for a better world and a better us. Lift your voices as we recall both love of self and love of the divine. Slach lanu, mechalanu, kapelanu, ki anu hamecha ve'ata Eloheinu, anu vanecha ve'ata avinu, anu avadecha ve'ata Adoneinu, anu kahalacha ve'ata chelkeinu, anu nachotecha ve'ata goraleinu, anu tzonecha ve'ata ro'einu, anu chamecha ve'ata notreinu, anu fe'ulatecha ve'ata yotzreinu, anu rayatecha ve'ata dodeinu, anu segulatecha ve'ata keroveinu, anu amecha ve'ata malkeinu, anu mamirecha ve'ata mamireinu. Thank you for being with us on this journey through Yom Kippur, for singing with us, for praying with us, and for trusting you to take you along this path of reflection and meditation. We have so much to look forward to this year, and I hope that you'll join us at Congregation Beth Sholom for Sukkot, for Shmini Atzeret, for Simchat Torah, in whatever iteration that looks like. Things are going to be different, but the psalm remains the same. And we are so excited to begin this year with you. Again, what a gift to be with Rabbi Richman and to be doing this together. Really, thank you for being with us this holiday season. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai ota avakesh. Shifti meveit Adonai kol yemei benoam benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo. Lachazot benoam benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai ota avakesh. Shifti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Lachazot benoam benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo. ay,